Today I'm going to talk to you about how I get the kick and the bass to mesh together.
You know you got me, girl. I like the way that you move, the way you shake your body, girl. I got a whole lot of plans for you.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of Ericson Presents Mixing Tutorials. As we said in the first part of the video, you're here to understand how I make my kick and my bass play together. Shouts out to my boy Grip for letting me use this beat for my tutorial. I just mixed 30 beats for him. He's going to be selling this beat, so make sure you check out his information. If you need beats, I'll leave it in the description. Yeah, it's pretty fire. But before we get started, I just want to say one thing. Apologize for not being here a lot. My frustration level has been so high dealing with the United States Postal Service. For the second time now, I've ordered something, some equipment, and it's gone missing. I'm pretty sure you can imagine how frustrating that is. It ended up coming a day earlier. I was here when it came. They said that they delivered it. My package was in here. So I'm out hundreds of dollars because somebody else couldn't do their job. And of course, they're not trying to accept liability for it. So you can only understand my frustrations right now. Yeah, so I thought I was gonna do this video today and I didn't want to do it because I knew I was super frustrated, but the show must go on. Sucks. It's gonna be a setback, you know, because I literally just gave money away. But what can you do? Anyhow, let's get to it. So I'm gonna bring out my secret weapon for mixing bass elements. My sub pack. Yeah, I'm gonna put this thing on. All right. So with this sub pack, if you haven't followed my sub pack pros and cons list, you probably should check that out. I'll leave that in the description as well. But it's a backpack that vibrates on your back. So imagine being in the car with a perfectly tuned subwoofer in the back, and it's just beating up your back. Those vibrations, that is how I set my bass. Make sure I have that turned on. And if you have a sub pack, put it on. All right, so let's just break this all the way down so you can kind of see my thought process. Now, when I hear that, it's a sample. I actually wouldn't touch that, but let's just play around and see what we can do on the bass end to get it to hit hard. We from the West Coast. Well, I'm from the West Coast, so bass is a big deal. Let's start up. All right, so I can feel the bass is hitting. It's not a solid kick, but it's decent. It was. I don't think when I mixed this, I don't think I did anything to it because it was a sample, and I figured he liked the way the sample sounded, so I didn't touch it too much. All right, let's see. I'm tripping. Could have did this way sooner. All right, so what I like to put on my bass elements is Monster. I do use that. Oh yeah, before I do that, I usually go use Revival first. I turn up the thickness. I mean, that thickness, that did a lot. Maybe I should have did this when I mixed the beat. How I feel is I can feel that the bass is starting to feel a little more solid. All right, so then, I mean, if I wanted to treat the higher elements of that sample, I would turn up the shimmer. And I probably should have did that when I mixed this beat too, because that actually sounded pretty good. But that's okay. That's all right. We gonna keep it pushing. All right. So then I use that, and then I go into the monster. The monster, it does exactly what it's called. It's a monster, so it makes things sound monsterish. I usually go with the big kick, being that this is a drum bus. I probably would not have gone with the big kick, and I probably would stop at thickness. But let's just throw it on there and see what happens. So the kick is actually staying the same, so it's not like it's a big difference when I turn the monster on and off, but it is raising everything else. So that's not bad. All right, so already everything's sounding amazing. Yeah, I probably should have did this one. Damn. Yeah. Just goes to show you can do this multiple different ways. All right, so then after I do that, I will probably I like -12. When I mix around -12, it gives me a lot of headroom. Oh, and before I get started, on the track, I have the Kramer tape, and I also have, on the bus, the mix bus, and then it's going into the Slate, the SSL bus. Sorry, tripping right now. I'm still pissed off about my package. I mean, that's just really why I'm trying to push forward. This is really hard, but okay. I don't have this on. I don't have this engaged, but this is the Sonar Works 4, the correction for my room. Let's see. While we're here, I'll just look at it, right? So yeah, that's the correction that it's doing in my room. So well, it wasn't too bad, but I mean, it does balance things out a little more. But I don't use this plug in when I'm doing the bass because I have the sub pack on. But once I set the bass and the subwoofer together, then I turn this off and then I mix the rest of it without this on. So, but this is a bass and kick tutorial, so let's get it cracking. I like that. All right, so then let's move on to the sub. I mean, he picked a fairly good sub. I mean, his sounds are great. Like when your sounds are great when you first start, it does make things a little easier. Same process. Same process. Yeah, so when I turned that thickness up, it really made the bass more full, and it made it hit much harder. But once again, we don't stop there. We bring the monster in and bass fattener. I mean, I use presets as much as I can. I'll start a preset and then I'll tweak from there. Yes, that's lovely. Okay, so now that I have the kick and I have the bass and I have those two elements solid and full the way I want them, and they're hitting it here, now it comes the magic of trying to put them together and making sure they don't have problems with each other. And I do have a secret for that. It's in the form of a plugin. Let's pull it up. Gotta learn how to spell. Alright, track spacer. This thing is amazing. This is my secret. Alright, so if you don't have it by now, you're probably going to want to get it after I show you what this thing does. Okay, so I apologize. I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. I accidentally moved the audio file, so it got off sync. So I'm just gonna cut this part in to help you understand how I get these things to mesh together. All right, so I guess let me turn this back up. All right, so now that I know that I have my kick and my sub playing, I bring in the trusty old track shaper. Now, track spacer. This thing is amazing. So basically all it really is doing is it's ducking the subwoofer out of the way of the kick. But this does it in a more intelligent way because it can analyze the frequency that the kick is in, and then it will only take out that frequency. So how we set this up is, well, I had it set up there. Yeah, see, I got to redo it. So let's get. So now we have the kick track going to the track spacer. How I keep saying shaper? I don't know. Anyway, so let's play it. Okay, so as we can see, it's doing way too much of a response. So we're going to turn the amount down. I find like around anywhere from 10 to 12% is usually a cool area to be in. Now, I take the high cut and I turn that down. So because this is a sample, normally I wouldn't have to touch it if it was just a kick, but I'm actually going off the drum loop. So therefore I need to tell the track spacer not to respond to anything above, let's say that many hertz. Okay, 139, 140 hertz. So anything above that, it's not going to respond to. So let's play again. So now it's intelligently ducking in the frequency of that sub where the kick is. So all I have to do at this point is just level it off. So yeah, that's literally all I do. I try to keep it simple. If I do have problems with a kick or it just sounds horrible, or if a bass sounds horrible, like I tweak everything in this sub pack. One time I was working on a kick, and I actually started doing things that I would just normally do. But that was before I was working with the sub pack. When I put the sub pack on, I started realizing, like, when I used my console 1 on my kicks, I actually was losing life from the kicks. So I realized, like, oh my God, I can't use this anymore, because the sub pack was letting me know that the kick is now weak. So you have to realize that if you're going to watch tutorials online, people are going to give you ways to treat their kicks and their 808s. That still doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You can do the same settings, and you might think that it's better, and then you'll get to the car and you're still trying to figure out why it's not hitting the way you want it to hit. So I would definitely recommend getting a sub pack, because this never fails me. If it feels good, it is good. So I'll leave a link in the description if you're thinking about copying one of these. Go ahead and get that. I do have an affiliate link. I don't get money from it, but I do earn points. So I mean, if you would like to get it, help your boy earn some points. But other than that, and I believe it's 10% off the normal price if you go through my link. So just more of an incentive. And also, if you're thinking about getting the SonarWorks plugin, I'll leave that in the description as well. And that helps out the channel as well, because I'm gonna need help, because I gotta make up this money apparently, because I like giving money away and not receiving my packages. I wish I would have went to the casino and just played blackjack. Took the whole wad of hundreds that I spent and put it on one hit on blackjack, and I would have had a better chance of benefiting from my money. Like, that's how I feel right now. Like, obviously I'm not gonna get over this. So anyhow, till the next time. Sorry, I ain't been here in a minute. Half the time I don't even know what y'all want me to do tutorials on. So leave that down in the comments if you have something you want me to do tutorial on, and I will do it. Until then, I will see you.
Home tomorrow. You know you got me, girl. Tomorrow, girl. I like the way that you move, the way you shake your body, girl. I got a whole lot of plans for you.